Preface of A Pocket Guide to the Empire and Its Environs, 1st edition, by the Imperial Geographical Society. This pocket guide was written in the early years of Tiber Septim's reign, and contains Imperial propaganda and biased information. As such, it is not only an overview of Tamriel and its inhabitants, but also of how those lands and peoples are viewed by the Empire. In addition to the Imperial document, notes appear throughout by one Or, who appears to be an elf with strong anti-Imperial sentiments. Or's notes appear in red at the bottom of the text, with the section of the main text that they refer to likewise highlighted in red. The document uses Common Era to refer to what we now call the Second Era. Our transcription includes some information not available in the final version of the pocket guide, A Pocket Guide to the Empire and Its Environs, 1st edition. Being a description of the lands and the diverse customs of the inhabitants, and furthermore a useful history of those places of interest by nature of their locations and influence, dedicated to the unwavering commitment to truth and knowledge of His Most Discerning Majesty, the Emperor Tiber Septim, promulgated under the authority of the Imperial Geographical Society, Common Era, 864. Welcome, citizen, scions of emperors, king of earth and sky, lord of shining hosts, protector of the oathman, freeman and yeoman, guarantor of right and justice, broad blessing of thrones and powers, cynosure of celestial glory, the most high Tiber Septim, the 8 invocations and 16 acceptable blasphemies. To Akatosh, whose perch from eternity allowed the day, to Kinnereth, who returns the masculine breath, to Dibella, who pays men in moans, to Arche, who braves the diminuendo, to Julianos, who encants the damned equation, to Mara, who fills the empty and drains the stones, to Zenithar, who provider of our ease, to Stendar, who suffers men to read. For reasons of decency, a paragraph on Daedra has been left out. The dawn of a new era before us, it is time that we take stock of where we have been and where we are, in order to better illuminate the way ahead. Written in celebration of the Battle of Hunding Bay, which marked the return of all human kingdoms to the unchallenged rule of the Cyrodiilic Emperor, this pamphlet seems to briefly describe the present provinces of the Empire and the surrounding regions, their history, people, and current condition. We strove to balance timelessness with accuracy and completeness. If we have erred in our zeal to place this valuable guide in the hands of interested citizens everywhere, we beg the kind reader's indulgence. The Empire stretches across Tamriel, the largest known continent of the world. To the north of Tamriel is Atmora, from whence the men of the world came. To the west is Yokuda, the lost native land of the Red Guards. To the east is Akavir, whose armies invaded Tamriel in the previous era. To the south, all is mystery and the whisper of a lost elven homeland. Tamriel itself is generally divided into 8 major regions: Skyrim, Cyrodiil, Highrock, the Aldmeri Dominion of the Somerset Isles and Valenwood, Hammerfell, Morrowwind, and the Elsweyr Confederacy. Some of these, such as Morrowwind or Skyrim, have historically been unified into kingdoms. Others, such as Highrock or Elsweyr, are looser groupings of many kingdoms, chiefdoms, village confederations, and so forth, united under a dominant race or culture. At its zenith, the Second Empire formally organized these disparate groups into imperial provinces, which were administered by provincial governors, either dispatched directly from Cyrodiil or appointed from the native populations. Morrowind is a notable exception, having never been conquered by the original Cyrodiilic Empire and thus escaping investment as an imperial province. With the fall of the Cyrodiilic Empire, control reverted to the individual rulers of each province, resulting in centuries of chaos, as many of the provinces devolved into independent kingdoms and petty statelets. Now happily all of the human kingdoms have been recovered by the Third Empire of Tiber Septim, and once again they all bear the proud title of Imperial provinces. The Aldmeri Dominion, the Elsweyr Confederacy, and Morrowwind have yet to join the Empire, but are described in this book for the edification of the scholar, the fascination of the common citizen, and the preparation of the soldier. The Third Empire is yet in its youth, and who can predict what new horizons might yet greet the dawn under the Diamond Banner. Some regions escape provincial classification due to the primitive civilization of their beastfolk inhabitants. Collectively, these beastfolk states are known as the Wild Regions, which may or may not be of interest to the Emperor. They are included only for the most intrepid of travelers and to throw the achievements of civilization into more brilliant relief by contrast with United Corners of Tamriel. Now, citizen, we entreat you to review our modest survey of the Empire's dominions. If it entertains and edifies, reflect not upon the humble labours of this scribe, but on the gracious benevolence of our beloved Emperor, whose very name is as ambrosia upon our tongues, who in his wisdom has ordained that this survey be created and distributed among the earnest and wise people of Tamriel, that they might better understand the glories and challenges of these lands and dominions, and that they might better appreciate the great burdens of rulership that he bears in our names with such fortitude.